Okay, how did you get involved with McGraw? And you know, he's a country star. What made you choose him, or did he choose you?
We chose each other.
Yeah, really. Actually, Rick Allen's brother is Tim McGraw's tour manager. So Rick Allen's known him for like 5 years, and he's always gone, oh, I'd love to do a song with Def Leppard. And we met him. He's like, oh, we got to do a song together, and we just did, and it worked out pretty good because it wasn't like a a hack songwriter thing. We genuinely had an idea, and we just went from there. It was just exciting. So that's how that happened.
Well, this was the easiest press conference we've ever done. Let me tell you about my life.
There's been talk about the live box set. A box set consists of live material for years. Do you still have plans?
No, we haven't. You guys have been talking about it for years.
I know I did as well. I did. I slipped it in a few times.
Oh, really? Ah, thanks for telling us. Yeah, that's great.
No, you heard you said it.
No, we mentioned it because somebody brought up the fact that we may do a box set one day. And if we were going to do a box set, it would make common sense to put some live stuff in because we've never done a live album. Well, the reason we've never done a live album is pretty self-explanatory as well. Most people use that 2 years off to write a new record. But we spent 5 years between the first, the second, the third, fourth and fifth album anyway. So we didn't need that time. So we would always wanted to do new material. There'll come a time where it's a good idea to troll through the back stuff and maybe look at what we've got, but chances are if we do a live album it'll be something from this tour or the next tour.
I think we're a lot better
with this lineup,
yeah.
You know.
We've actually got tons of live material that we've recorded all over, but they've stopped making box sets.
Yeah.
They're starting to, which is kind of weird.
But I mean, it'll just become a digital box set, you know. But we've archived. We're very similar to Jimmy Page in the sense of like he's got everything Zeppelin have done. We've got everything we've done.
And
so,
everything Zeppelin's done.
And I've got everything that Jimmy Page thinks I don't have, but I've got it.
The guy in the Def Leppard shirt.
Uh-oh.
Hi, just wondering, 25 years ago you made a photograph about Marilyn Monroe. Now 25 years later you made a song called Bad Actress. Who is it about and when did it came along?
Well, strangely enough, it's not actually about Marilyn, but it could well have been about Marilyn. I did say recently when I was asked about this song, they asked me who it was about. It's not about any particular actress. It's more about the tragic state of affairs on TV when all we have is these reality shows where people think that their parents tell them that they can dance, so they go on an audition and they can't dance because they've got no formal training. But even back in the 40s and 50s, there were people that were pretty bad as well. Marilyn would have been one of them. You read Jack Lemmon's autobiography and one movie he made with her, she had a 6-line delivery to do and she took her like 60 attempts to get it right. So she was, you know, in many respects, she could have been so-called Lindsay Lohan, which is, again, it's not about Lindsay Lohan.
Actually, Lindsay Lohan's actually a good actress,
Yeah,
you know, apart from everything, and she gets a...
It's anybody that you care to think of that you see that shouldn't be on telly. That's, you know, it's just an analogy more than anything else.
You were one of the first new wave of British heavy metal bands. What do you think about the movement after all these years?
I hated it then and I hate it now. I don't think we were ever part of it. I genuinely don't. It was something that Jeff Barton said that we were part of. We just happened to come out at the same time. We happened to come out at the same time as Duran Duran and Spandau Ballet. But, you know, we're not really part of that
So,
either.
are we new romantics then?
Yes, we are now. There was nothing good about the new wave of heavy metal, except for Iron Maiden maybe. And even they don't like the association that much. When you think about the bands like Witchfind and Vardis, they were actually just rubbish bands, but they all started at the same time. You know, I don't see the fascination in it. I don't. There's the Beatles and there's the Mersey sound, and it's two different things. And I don't see where Girl fitted in. I don't see where Leopard fitted in. I just don't get it at all. So I think it's crap.
Alright, hi. I'm down here. So it wasn't actually that long when you last played on this festival. How are you going to top this tonight? Tonight, yeah.
Well, this time we've got a new album of new material out, so we're going to be playing new songs. I don't know about topping it. It's not a case of trying to top what you do. It's continuation. You know, if you think back to the days of all the great rock bands like Led Zeppelin and Sabbath, they used to tour every year, not just once. You know, I mean, this will be our second time here in 2 years. So had we been back in the 70s, we'd have played here in 2007 as well. So to us, it's just a continuation of our career, but with a new album and new material. Wow, somebody's phone says a wild ring.
You have recorded a song by Mick Ronson, and I know you have credit artists like T-Rex, Bowie, Motorhopper, but you don't see, you never saw the glam thing in you as, for instance, a layman. In what way did they inspire you?
Well, if you actually look at the way that the glam bands, if you want to call them that, from Los Angeles, dress themselves up, they totally missed the point. When English glam bands from the 70s came on top of the pops, it was almost an afterthought to what they were actually doing. Music always came first, and then they'd be like, what are we going to wear? And they'd be wrapping themselves in Bako foil, or getting a tin hat and covering it in mirrors. Bowie was very image driven, and maybe the music came second, but a lot of the other bands, it was always about the music. The image thing was just something that they did to just upstage other bands on top of the pops. That's what they used to do. So we were never driven to do the mascara thing, or you know, whatever these bands did. They didn't have any substance musically, I don't think, in comparison to us. So we didn't feel we needed to do it. Bands that do that are doing it to cover up the fact that there's no substance in their music. The only band, and I'm not saying it because we're here, the only band that really did both were Hanoi Rocks. I thought Hanoi Rocks were a good band, but they looked, Michael Monroe was one of the best. I would have shagged him. I would have shagged him.
I did.
I like Michael, I think he's sexy, you know. And I'm not gay. And I think Andy McCoy does the best kind of Keith Richards, so much better than Motley Crue or Poison or any of those bands. They were real. The rest of the guys, it was all a bit fake for me.
Guys, tell me more about the record in Slang album. I think they did much more depressive material on it. Why is it?
Much more what? Depressing metal?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, okay, I think I know what you mean. Yeah. You mean not pop songs, more album tracks. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. We'd done 3 albums of a certain type. We did Pyromania, Stereo, and Adrenalize.
It's very different.
It was intentionally so.
Yeah.
We'd done 3 albums that were like the trilogy of big productions, which was Pyromania, Stereo, and Adrenalize. We needed to do something different, and it was just, we felt it was the right thing to do. Even though it wasn't as successful, I don't think we'd be here now if we hadn't done Slang, because we'd have just died. We'd have just killed each other or been killed by the business itself. But it allowed us to go back to ground zero and build back up again. And there was nowhere left for us to go. The grunge thing, we couldn't make that record again. We were just fed up of making it. We needed time away. By the time we got to do Euphoria, it was 7 years. That's a long time. A lot of bands don't last 7 years. You know, look at Audio Slave. Those guys only lasted like 3. You know, I mean, they could have been great, but there's no staying power. So in the length of maybe some bands' careers, we had a breather from our sound. We're now back there and we feel happy to do it. But Slang was a very important record. It was intentionally miserable.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.